All right, so today is Thursday, July 5th. It is the first day back. We are ready to rock and roll. I'm very excited to be back in this market. But the holiday, as I've been saying, is still kind of floating in the stock market. And what do I mean by that? It's basically saying, we are still lacking traders in this market. We still have a very low amount of volume in this market, and that is leading to what? A lot of fake out breakouts. That is leading to a very strong resistance line. Volume equals activity, and activity equals profit. Why do stocks move up? Because we have traders buying them. Why do stocks move down? Because we have traders selling that play. If we have a large majority of traders selling one stock or buying one stock, we're going to see large price movement. If we have a limited amount of traders buying one stock or selling one stock, we're going to see limited price movement. And on top of that, if we have limited traders in the market, low volume, and the stock comes up to resistance, and some people start selling, there's not enough strength to break through a resistance line. So that's going to lead to a lot of, fake out breakouts. So today we definitely saw a lot of, kind of like pumpy moves up and then a dumpy move back on down. We definitely wanted to be careful with how we were trading today and what we were getting ourselves involved with. But first things first, let's break down some of these plays and let's talk about them. First thing we have going on right here, A&W. A&W, this stock did come out with good news this morning. This stock right here, we type in A&W, check over towards the news, and what did we have? This stock did come out with a great agreement, completes a $1 billion refinancing global strategic partnership. Very nice. We already know this, guys. Keywords, look for in hot press releases. We go over this nearly every single day. When you guys have certain keywords in a hot press release, especially in the title, what happens? You can see the stock, gap up and move very easily and get very good hype. So what do we have here? We have what? Completes $1 billion refinancing, explore a global strategic partnership. First things first, the word complete. When you guys see this completes number 28, you're completing a project, you're completing a goal, you complete a puzzle at home, you're like, yes, I did it. I completed this puzzle. You feel good. It's successful. So completes is a great keyword. You also have US $1 billion. $1 billion is definitely a lot of money. So any large sum of money gets traders' attention. It gets investors' attention. Hey, we have this huge $1 billion refinancing, partnership. That's huge. The last one, partnership right here. We see the word partnership. That means the company is expanding. The company is growing. The company is, getting more assets, networking, getting more connections. So we have this 3-star word right here, partnership, which brings in a lot of hype. So A&W came out with this great press release right here, and it had a gap up. But what have we been seeing, nearly every single day for the past week or so? Nearly every single gap up has led to red, and we have to be careful with that. The number 1, number 2 top gainers every single day in pre-market have led to, doing nothing during the day and mostly just dumps. Great example of this would be like GBR. GBR on Tuesday, massive gap up, number 1 top gainer, came back on down, massive dumper. And I always show you guys this. Just because a stock is up in pre-market does not mean that it's worth, playing, because we can easily see a big gap up and then it ends up dumping. But I know what traders think when you see a big gap up. You wake up, you see a stock up 110%, and you're saying, oh boy, honey, get the car. Why? Because we're going to go buy a new one. I'm going to make $1 million today. Oh boy, get on jetblue.com. No, we're not sitting, coach. I'm not a peasant. I'm buying this 110% top gainer right here, and I'm going to bank. You know what happens? The thing absolutely dumps. Your wife's going to be sitting in the car for a very long time. And, you're going to be sitting, coach. Why? Because a lot of people see this, and they say to themselves, wow, we see a massive top gainer. This thing's going to run even more. But that's not how it works. If you see a stock, already up so high, it already ran its run. It already did its thing. It already went on a pop. It already went on a climb. So, it blows my mind that, some traders can't kind of get their head wrapped around that. If a stock has already, is already up 110%, you're buying a stock up 110%. You cannot buy a stock at the top. And this is, the diagram I show. Out of 100% of traders, 70% of them are going to fail. You guys all know that statistic. 70 to 80% of the first-year traders are not going to be successful. Why? They don't follow this diagram. You have to be in early. You have to be at the breakout. You have to be a shorter, or you have to be a dip buyer. But the majority of people are going to see a spike, buy at the top of the spike, and end up getting dumped on. So you guys have to say to yourself, I want to be in the purple. I want to be in the orange. I'll be a shorter or I'm going to get a dip buy. You can't buy the stock after it already ripped, after the stock made the move. But why do everyone always buy there? Because you see it. You visually see, oh, wow, that's a spike. That's what I've been waiting for. Yes, but it already happened. It already ripped. It already went on its run. You can't get in on it now. Why? Because it's just going to dump on you. And that's what we see a lot on GBR. That's what we see a lot, like on MCUR, on PRQR, on SEED, on all these plays right here. You have to be careful. What are we seeing right now on DFBG? This stock, what happened? Number one top gainer, quick morning spike, and then dumped on down. And, we vote on these a lot of times, and sometimes, you guys vote, hey, DFBG is going to be the best play, or A&W is going to be the best play. And, I kind of just say, hey, you always got to be careful on those. Usually, 99% of the time, I don't play the number one top gainer in pre-market or number two top gainer. Because when I look at supernovas, when I look at stocks that rip, GEVO, maybe a little gap up and then a right here. We could look at, all these, possible big time breakouts. DXR, no gap up at all and a giant rip. RKTA, no gap up at all and then a giant rip. Supernovas don't usually have any sort of gap up, when they first start off. Maybe after they have, a couple giant days, then they do. But not usually, when they kind of start off. A GBR, no gap up right here. And then it had a big gap up, and then it had a big gap up, and then it dumped. But, that first initial day doesn't have any sort of gap up towards it. So I usually look for the start of supernovas, which I'm not looking at number one, number two, number three top gainers, in pre-market. You have to, again, be smart with your trading, of course, and, wait for that best opportunity. What else do we have today? XPLR, that stock's not doing anything today. That's just going straight across the board. And we told you that was most likely going to go straight across the board. It did come out with a good press release this morning, though, talking about its revenue growth on its earnings report. It does have a 12% revenue growth. And it's able to sustain this price very well right here. Why is it able to sustain this price really quickly? Because it says announces a definite agreement to be acquired at what price? $6 per share. Right? So it's getting acquired for $6 per share. So that means it's going to gap up and it's just going to stay around $6. No one's going to buy this above $6. It's not worth more than $6. Anyone who buys this above $6 doesn't know what's going on in the stock market, probably in the 70%. It got acquired at $6. It's not worth any more than $6. Why is no one buying it right now? Because what? You buy it right now, you can make a total of 6 cents. I'd rather invest my money elsewhere. Why is no one else buying it right now? Because there's no volume. Why is everyone else not buying it right now? Because there's no point. It's not going any higher. So you guys have to be able to say to yourself, hey, you know what? Let me read the press release and figure out, why the stock's moving. BB or not moving. BBOX, dead cat bounce type of play. A stock that dropped all the way. I honestly dropped all the way from around 260 and fell all the way down towards 75 cents. Red. What is the stock, currently at right now? Or what do I mean by that? It's oversold. The stock is currently oversold at the moment. We take a look over on BBOX. A massive drop like that, traders are saying, hey, the stock's not looking good. The stock's not looking healthy. But it sure is good at a damn good bargain price right here when it's at a 10 on the RSI. People are saying, hey, it's not a good stock, it's not the best stock, but it's at a bargain price. And, it has a good chance of bouncing back on up. One person does that, 10 people do it, 100 people do it, 1,000 people do it. The stock gets a little bit of momentum behind it. So you can see that play, starting to get a little bit of activity. ABIL, what's going on here? Where do we usually see bounces? Again, off the 13 EMA. 13 EMA, exponential moving average. Again, I always use the 13 EMA. Why do I use the 13 EMA? As you guys know, it's the most popular. Actually, the most popular now is the 12 EMA, but the 12 and 13 literally are identical. It's you can barely say any sort of see any sort of difference whatsoever. So I just want to type in really quickly. And why do I use, again, the most popular one? Because that's going to have the most force. So let me just type in really quickly on Google, exponential moving average. And we have a lot of lessons on this, of course, as you know. But, I want to use what is obviously, some of the most popular indicators, the indicators that, can bring in the best rippers, to get in the best runners for me. So this is the exponential moving average, and I actually want to bring up more of the definition for it. Here it is. Here we go. So we have what? We have the 12 and 26-day exponential moving average are the most popular quoted. Okay, so if they are the most popular, if there's 100 people in the stock market, if there's 100 people in the stock market, 90 of them are going to use the 12 or 13 EMA, right? And that means they are all going to see the same area, and that's where it's going to bounce at. You don't want to use your secret indicators because your secret sauce indicators, guess what? You're the only people in the world, you're the only person in the world using it. And if you're the only person in the world using it, there's not going to be any sort of effect on it. So you have to use the most popular indicators because going down to psychology again, that's where traders are going to either buy if it breaks it, bounce if it comes down to it, sell it or short it if it cracks it. And that's what you guys have to see. Why is, ABIL bouncing right here, going on a nice rip, come back down, bouncing right here, coming back, going on a nice rip? Because the majority of traders are using this. It doesn't matter if you're saying, oh, what does the 12 EMA look like? It used to be 13 EMA was the most popular. Now, again, it could be 12, they say, but it's literally, almost the same exact thing. I'll even show you right here to even prove it. All right, so everyone put this little chart in your head. A little swivel, got a little bounce here, got a little bounce here. Let's change this to 12. Okay, boom. Identical, correct? It looks exactly the same. So, 13, 12, whatever you want to use, but, keep it right in that range. But if you guys are saying to yourself, hey, why is, big time breakout coming on up? Everyone get ready. And you're like, what, why? And you're like, bro, it's coming up to like the 76.8, moving average. Loser. Like, come on now, rookie. No, it's like, no one's going to buy there. No one's going to sell there. You have to use those most popular indicators because that's where you guys are going to be able to, see the best movement, the best rips, the best pops. So, that was a nice play today. Also, this had an 875 rule. When a Dekmar trades go to chart setups, make sure that you guys, again, get into the video library and learn all about the 875 rule. It's led to thousands of dollars in profit. We have that over in the video library for you guys, of course, and, check that out. Other than that, we just have been seeing a lot of fake out breakouts today. GBR, you could say a little bit of a red to green move right here where the stock U-shaped on down, broke through the open. As I say, I know the technical term for a red to green move is breaking the previous close, but I like to call it from today's open. Drop on down, forms the U-shape, and gets a nice rip. This is hands down, again, my favorite pattern. It always will be my favorite pattern. Why? Because it's led to me making the most profit, and it's just a simple U-shape. It's just a simple drop down from the open, break of the open, massive buying volume comes in. Drop down at the open, break the open, massive buying volume comes in. Drop down at the open, U-shapes, break the open, massive volume comes in. Drop down at the open, U-shapes, massive volume comes in. Break of the open, you get a nice spike. So that's very nice. But again, kind of the big time problem we have been seeing today is just what? It's just lack of volume, lack of traders being able to hold the stock on up. And that's just because, again, yesterday was a holiday. And because yesterday was a holiday, what happens? People travel around. People could have celebrated, that's what we'll call it, celebrate a little too hard. Maybe they're not feeling too well today. Yeah, I'll take off trading. I'm not really feeling it today. So we have, again, people traveling around. Hey, right? So, you went to grandma's, you went to go visit your boyfriend and girlfriend, you went to the shore yesterday for July 4th, and now today you're hitting the road, you're coming back, but you're not trading today. That's going to take away some people. So let's say out of 100 people, 20 people started traveling. Okay? There's 80 people in the market then today. And let's say, 15 people, a little bit of party animals. They weren't really feeling too well today. And they say to themselves, hey, you know what? We're going to be, kind of taking a step back today. All right? That's 15 people out of the market. All right. And let's say there's another, 15 people or so that are just saying to themselves, hey, you know what? There's going to be some people traveling. There's going to be some people not feeling well. I really don't want to play at all if there's a slow market. So I'm just going to take the day off. So now we're down towards, out of 100 people, now we're all the way down towards like 50 people, right around that range. So we just went from, a hot stock to now only 50 people, basically playing. And that means resistance lines are going to hold up very strong because less volume equals stronger resistance. And that means we're not going to see as many breakouts. And that means we're going to see a little bit more slowness. Or we're probably going to see a lot more fading or selling or possibly more shorting because there's not as many traders kind of bringing that momentum and bringing that hype. Yeah, you kind of think about things as well. If you're buyers, like when you have hype and momentum, it always comes with what? A large group of people. You get a large group of people, you got hype and momentum. let's say you're in the middle of the street or something, and you're with a ton of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and you're all jumping around. There's music playing, and you're having a good time. There's just a lot of energy in the air. There's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hype. There's a lot of momentum. Everyone's going crazy because everyone's doing it. It's going wild. But if you're just in the middle of the street and just jumping around by yourself, people are probably gonna like take an extra left turn to try to avoid you. It's going to be a little weird. You're going to look like a freak. So, with a group of people with momentum and hype in the market, you see a lot more, big time rips and big time runs. If you're just completely by yourself, it's just not going to happen. There's no momentum. There's no energy there. So, that's kind of what we're seeing today. We're seeing that lack of hype. We're seeing there's not as many traders in this market. So that's very important that you guys understand. And I'm very happy for the traders that made some solid money today. As I said, I made my money today on VLRX. I made a total of $197 on VLRX today. So not a bad trade at all. But obviously I want more, but I can't get greedy. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I want to make more. On a day like today, I have to tell myself, hey, you know what? Let's be smart. Let's be safe. Why did I play VLRX? Again, VLRX opened up, got stuffed at 150. Came back down, got stuffed at 150. Made a big U shape right here. Came back up to 150. This is where I look to get in. Break of 150. Got a nice little pop up towards around that 165 mark. I saw volume die off very quickly because of the current market conditions. I locked in and came back down. That's why I only made $200 today, because again, I didn't see a giant rip. Volume died off right when it came up to 160, and I wanted to lock in my profit. I'm not a person that says, hey, I'm not selling until I make $10,000. If I'm up $200, hey, that's a great amount of money. There's people out there that work 4 days, 5 days to make $200. Why did the stock get held up around 160? Just because of the 50-day moving average right here. So you guys definitely have to be smart right there. Also, again, right here, VLRX, that was my play from this morning. P&L right here, $196. If you guys are watching that, just again, always want to show you guys that. Back it up, be transparent, be honest, be credible with everything I say. So it was definitely a slower day, or a slower morning so far. We obviously still have this afternoon, but the thing is about coming up the rest of the week, we only have Friday left. So we'll see what's coming on up. Let's be smart the rest of the week. But awesome job today.